Wow. My computer is extremely slow right now. Hello and welcome to a exhausting episode of hang on a second. There we go. The Super Bunny Hop super sad streams or whatever. I am currently crunching through a video. It's been very tough. I woke up this morning super sick. I was vomiting and had a headache and nausea. And I've been putting it together for an extremely long while. It feels like I think I've been in crunch mode for almost more than a week and a half at this point. It's still not done. I'm thinking about finishing it up overnight. I gotta make this one fast. We are gonna be seeing what more like normal looking play of this game looks like. Oh my god, I'm sweaty. I got the headache. I hope it's not coming back right now while I'm on. And also, I have a lot of windows open on my computer. And the very first episode of Intolerable Frame Drops happened early during the stream last time. I am hoping for better luck this time. All right, I've got all the most demanding windows closed. I think volume levels are looking good as well. And let's get started. Hanazovje Warehouse is the hardest room in the game, whether you're playing on new style or legacy style. I might want to keep the commentary to a minimum while I begin and come up with a strategy. Oh, by the way, I have mods installed and they are nice. I have a FOV widening mod and remove the silhouette when you're stalking mod. No. Okay, an interesting problem that I have not had to deal with in a very long time has appeared. Oh my gosh, I think, do you lose stamina when you have, oh, crap. Do you lose stamina when you have the game turned off? Also, this is good, this is fine, I can grab that guy. But somehow, at some point, I accidentally had spider camo equipped, and I don't know what I did to have it turned on. Alright, yeah, interesting problem I haven't had to deal with in 20 years is having a backpack full of rotten food and a stamina meter that's very low. I'm hoping that these guys I'm gonna attack here will, maybe I should throw the chaff grenade before trying to grab him, because he might turn around and see me if my tummy rumbles. What was the train of thought I had going on? George stamina is low right now. I'm gonna try to hold him up and hope that he drops a ration. It's crappy food, but better than the almost literal nothing I have in my backpack. And also, my stamina meter is very low. Snake is hungry. He's desperate for anything. I'm also wondering if I got the Ducky in the previous area last time I played. You might have noticed a bit of a gap. Bolshaya past base, Ocelot, the cave, the Pain, and the warehouse exterior are areas I played through on my own time when taking, I assure you, very reasonable and rare breaks from working on the Death Stranding video I've been working on for for months now, and I'm trying to finish up as fast as possible right now. But I feel like I have at least said that on stream for at least a week and a half now. And I do not remember exactly when I started getting into crunch mode, but feels like it should be right around about then. Book is useful, but it's not food. Nope, he is all out. Okay, so he has no radio, but he does have legs. Look, I'm gonna knock him out, walk into the previous area, and just double check that that I got the ducky in there. And then I'm gonna come back and continue on, and I'm hoping that when transitioning between the two areas, it will save the horrible state that I will be leaving him. Try not to use... Oh, maybe I should put on DPM camo and then shoot him with the tranquilizer. Maybe that'll keep him asleep. But then again, having 5 stars of unconsciousness is almost like being... It'll save a bit of ammo for later if I need it. I'm allowed to trink every now and then, but I feel like if I did it on that guy just then, it would have been too much. Okay, I just need to check for Ducky. I have not gotten the Ducky! Okay, interesting. This is a much better angle to be doing this from, though, so, I don't necessarily consider missing the Ducky bad news, because I also know where there are some spiders I can eat. They might be poisonous, but I'll just eat poison medicine as soon as I'm done. Oh, and what's our kill count so far? 3 people. Okay. Now, if I remember, this guy must have died from a spider. I can also go fishing in the water. Yeah. Let me tranquilize the spiders and use a lethal weapon on the fish. Have this mod installed to get rid of the silhouetting when you're sneaking up on people. Appreciate it. It improves visibility in Legacy mode especially, but even in new style. Get a bit of that. Who's that? I don't think that counts as a kill. 3 people. I would have liked to shake him down for supplies, but it was not to be. These spiders will come in very useful for sneaking through the warehouse soon. Okay, so all the guards in this area are dispatched, yeah. Either by drowning or animal, which means that doesn't technically count as a kill on my scorecard. Hello, Steady Pace. Welcome to the first sad stream in a while. I'm sad that I haven't figured out, or at least haven't accounted for how ridiculously demanding the editing, I don't know, production? The word count is too long, the amount of time it's gonna take is too long, but hey, that's what the people want these days. The editing might not be what'll take too long, but what is taking too long is how many clips I need to gather from the internet for this thing. Oh yeah, that raised field of view already makes me feel like I have a bit of a height gain here. I can scan the concrete perimeter of this little canal dock for Ducky. Okay, we're gonna put on the Ducky uniform and equip the knife and whatever ammo is cheapest. I guess that'll be AK-47. Brown water, so I have unlimited oxygen. 22 versus 91. We'll use the AK ammo. We're not going to use the Patriot because that's cheap. We should keep our kit as lightweight as possible. Thermals might actually be cool, because our stamina situation is just so dire. What's taking up this weight? The ammo, but the fish aren't showing up, so let's just put the thermal goggles away. The most useless of ammo. I was stuck in this area for quite a while earlier. And I remember going through, haha! These fish are crappy too. They're not even going to give me that much, but still better than nothing. Can't get a good aim on them. Oh, the maroon shark. Might be a bit more filling than the trevallies. Nope. Still better than nothing, though.
I've had enough.
Enough to hunt down the ducky and then move on.
Horrible.
There's a food warehouse in the next area where I can fix my stamina problems in the short term quite efficiently. Give me more fish. Also, I know the AK-47 has a reputation for being durable and resilient, but can you actually fire this thing underwater at fish to go fishing as depicted in the game? Oh, fish. Alright. After eating this fish, we're going to equip the directional mic and start duck hunting. AK goes away. Which is the lightest weight weapon I have I can hit the duck with? Grenades. Okay. We'll do it. I think I tried magazine and it didn't work. And the duck hunt has been pretty tricky, a little frustrating, because I can't quite figure out how to get the audio cues on it going. Yeah, the reputation of the AK-47 surviving mud is well known, but just straight up shooting underwater, I think like guns that do that are like specially designed. Maybe you can convert an AK for that, but the isn't the idea of gun that like compressed gas going through a tube ignited by powder. These things seem to require a minimum amount of moisture in the systems, I would imagine. Oh my gosh, it was right in front of me. Okay, so in black and white, the duck hunt is brutal because you can't see the yellow poking out. In any mode though, is there something special you got to do to get it to make the gaga noise at you? We don't got to worry about that in the next area, but what we will be worrying about is the film canister. The quick version, obtained from a Gru soldier equipped with the radio patrolling Panazovje warehouse. One thing I've been confused about is that I think I got some of these in earlier runs, and I hope I don't got to back out to menu or anything to be able to check if it'll be a waste of time or not to hold. Oh, where's the guy I knocked out? No, they reset him! It would be nice to know whether or not I'll be wasting my time by trying to hold everyone up and get everyone out of the way. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Tranquilizer, 1911. Half. Magazine, book. Let's try to do this as quietly and non-lethally as possible. Oh, this is one of the few areas where the box. Climb on top of a box. You're equipped. Box. Basically. As invisible as a box. Apparently it does work underwater? What? Crazy. I don't know though, I still feel like I want to be skeptical. It just seems like such a crazy, unrealistic video game thing that I don't want to trust this at first blush. See if I can get both these guys up here. Oh, we got one.
What was that?
Can't we get both?
Nothing here.
No, there is something here. It would be very, very nice to get these
Did you hear that noise?
guys both before I go through, because one of them's fine, but two is always a pain in the ass. Bum 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 bum. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Oh, hey.
Did you?
Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. Get together. Bunch up. Now let me put a book in their path. So I can grab one guy and book the other with the supplies sacrificed. Dun, 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 dun.
What was that? I hear something.
Okay, I think that was two. That was two guards, not one. I saw two exclamation points pop up. Good warehouse run so far. Nice to get these guys both. I wonder if I should smoke grenade. That might be too much noise. Neither of them have radios. That's good. They're sliding each other out of the way.
I hear something.
Can I grab him around the corner like in Metal Gear Solid 5? I don't know if I should be trying that. No! Ugh. Okay, what did we learn we learned that there's an opportunity to attract both guards up the stairs to a vulnerable position at the same time. We also learned that it's probably not a good idea to experiment whether or not I can grab guys around corners while wall pressed into it, like in Metal Gear Solid 5. What is a cage with a tarantula inside of it? So lightweight. Have you ever considered learning a classical language? Oh my god. Yes, I've considered it and decided no. I was a little surprised that you didn't pick up Koine Greek during your Greekaboo era. I am not surprised. It's very complicated. It would take a lot of time. And, not be very useful for other things. It would increase the enjoyment of Homer tremendously. And
I hear something.
might glean some greater enjoyment out of some other classics from it, but no, with everything going on, you should not be surprised I did not pick up a version of Greek that sounds like gibberish to modern Greeks while going through my Greekaboo phase.
There's nothing here.
I'm too slow.
Answer me. I'm not talking. Oh. Oh.
Sorry if that answers.
Who's that?
My god. Sorry if that answer is a little disappointing, but the question kind of surprised me. I'm going through the Aeneid right now. Well, I'm trying. I'm fucking... No, it's been about a week since I've been able to get some time into it, and I'm hoping I didn't lose the plot already.
Nothing here.
I think the crouch walk stalk is faster. What the hell? Where did you come from? Why did you come from? That might be the radio. Maybe I should put my loadout into place before going deeper inside. Okay, yeah, I've been wanting to get to the Aeneid for a long while, and I finally picked it up a few weeks ago and was excited. And then the deadline for the video started coming and coming and coming, and I had to crunch, and then the deadline passed, and I kept crunching, and then the deadline passed again, and I still kept crunching, and it's still not done. Ugh! I'm working on it. I'm still doing some classics. The Aeneid. Oh, I really have to switch mental modes to even be able to remember what happened and what I thought was interesting. The Aeneid feels faster. Virgil's speaking in the present tone. Sometimes you read it and it sounds like a transcript of a modern radio show. There's a scene where they have a race, and Virgil says, "And Testicles is neck and neck with Dupopoples," and they're, "Oh no, Scrotus tripped on a glop of mud and blood," and "Oh, what's this? He pulled down Thotus." with his arms on his way down while tripping and falling. I can't believe it. Some nobody in 4th place is now the winner of the race. Oh my god. And it does not read like you're reading a report after the fact. Virgil likes the present tense for some reason, and that is very strange and weirding me out. The other thing that's very strange and weirding me out is that I think I enjoy his writing better when he's not imitating Homer. And it kind of makes me want to read some other Virgil and do a bit of compare and contrast. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's fun, but it also seems shallower. Aeneas's justifications for being an asshole are not very lengthy and complicated, and Odysseus and Achilles's, Patrocles's, and Hector's certainly were. Whenever anyone dies in the Iliad, you get a long explanation about who, what, why they are. And in Virgil's Aeneid, the explanation is usually because he's pious to the gods, and it just kind of sort of, Jesus. At that time, I want to blame the controls, the wall stickiness. Oh well, where was my brain? Where was my brain? Yeah, the getting into the mindset of ancient world assholes for Homer is a tragic and beautiful pastime that has enraptured humanity for millennia. And the justifications for why Aeneas is a huge dick to his girlfriend and some of his men is not quite as fun to wrap your mind around as a reader. And I'm wondering what the greater historical context of that is. I haven't gone through lectures and companion materials. I want to do the original first. I did enjoy the intro by Bernard Knox. The Bernard Knox introduction was great, where he talks about how for half the introduction he does very dry, dull academia, where he does explain that the characters' motivations are pretty simple, and it is because they are pious to the gods. And then he'll get into some linguistic details about Latin and historical details of Virgil's autobiographical life. All right, now, how come I can't hold these guys up after CQCing them like I'm trying to do? Maybe because I'm not concentrated enough. The warehouse is one of the hardest areas anyway to begin with, and I'm trying to keep this train of thought going that went off the. It didn't go off the rails, but it did definitely check into a station and go out of commission in the train rail yard for a couple weeks ago. And, right, Bernard Knox. Half the introduction for Bernard Knox's Aeneid is, dry academia. And then at the end of the introduction, he talks about how, wait a second, guys, actually, funny story. When I was a teenager, I was drafted into the army in World War II, and the recruiter looked at my dry, boring academic classical study credentials and said, "Hey, kid, you know Latin, huh? That's basically Italian. You're going to Italy and you're in the infantry. Good fucking luck, kid." And so Bernard Knox apparently spent 2 weeks of his life as a teenager in Italy, actually killing Nazis, clearing out German machine gun nests, implanted, entrenched in fortified positions. And he talks about how he ends the introduction with this crazy story about how they were clearing out a bombed out building and he went to the basement to smoke a cigarette and hang on and no! Oh, I was right in the middle of my story too. He went to the basement to smoke a cigarette while killing Nazis in World War II and dug around in some rubble and found a copy of the Aeneid that was like commissioned by Mussolini with fascist propaganda all over it. Did I say Iliad? I meant Aeneid. Did I say Aeneid? If so, forget I even second-guessed myself, because as you can hear, the short-term memory, even when it comes to my own self-monologuing, is not there today.
The enemy's
See, this is how you hold people up after you CQC them. You got to put them on the ground, then wake them up, then start LTing at them when they get up. And it's an elaborate process. I forgot some of the steps while doing it. I'm sorry. Bernard Knox is in the basement of an Italian villa in World War II, and he finds a propaganda copy of the Aeneid that has Mussolini propaganda in the first few pages, and he flips it open to a random page and finds a line that mentions, "The world is covered in ruins and engulfed in war." And then he stops you right there and begins the Aeneid, and is great. Okay, so the first chunk of the Aeneid feel like some chapters... Damn it, I'm not doing this right. I need to hold him up, not knock him out. That's a better method. The first few chapters of the Aeneid are written in kind of mimicry of Homer. Actually, I take that back. The first book is not, and I was having a blast. It seems so much faster and kinetic. That's just a synonym for fast. It seemed faster, more present, and more visualizable as a fun movie in the modern mind than some other the chapters have gotten. There's a scene where Juno, gotta use the Roman names, not the Greek names, gets mad and she slams her fist into a wall, and then your eyes go to the next line of the poetry, and it says that a giant wave slams into Aeneas's ship. And so there's this nice visual cut where slamming the fist into the wall is a nice visual metaphor for a wave slamming into the side of a ship. Okay, what am I doing? I'm trying to hold him up. Oh, come on.
Freeze.
There we go. Now, there was another guy who I'll lure over here with the magazines, and actually maybe I should just spider him. Maybe I should spider the next guy, but not this guy, because I think he's more easily subduable with CQC than the one up the stairs. Hey, come over here, my dude guy. Okay, so the Aeneid continues from book one that begins with a Homer-ish introduction, and then a not very Homer-ish depiction of... Not very or very... yeah, it's Homer-ish. I just don't think it parallels any of the books of Homer as closely as some of the others do. There's a chapter where they, like, go to Circe's... No. There's a chapter where they go to the Cyclops Island and actually say hi to the actual Cyclops Polyphemus. There's a chapter where they sail past Circe's Island, and Virgil takes a minute to explain what happened with Circe in the Odyssey and other Greek myths. And one thing that is taking me out of it that I don't like is how it's supposed to be contiguous with Odysseus's wanderings, but it feels like the major stops of Odysseus's wanderings are cheap tourist attractions here. Every time Aeneas sails past an island that Odysseus had some kind of adventure in, like Virgil will read you what would be on the plaque of a museum tourist attraction. And here is Polyphemus's island, which may or may not be around Sicily. Homer didn't clarify, but that's what we have come to think. This island that may be off of Sicily is full of Cyclopses, and one of them was a pain in the ass to Odysseus. Oh, look! If you squint, you can see him right there, clutching at his blinded, missing eyeball. And then they just, like, sail past, and you could just hear the tourists on the boat going, ooh, ah, and snapping their cameras as the tour guide walks you through the same story you've heard a gazillion times. And I think that's why I'm looking more forward to the second half of the book, when I guess it might not be as directly imitative of Homer's style, but I don't know, maybe the second half of the book's going to be a complicated war drama where Aeneas is basically going to colonize Italy without much of a justification behind it. Yeah, when Odysseus washes up on strange islands with his 600 or however many men, I think I'm just saying that from the Epic the Musical version, he at least tries to make friends first. It doesn't seem like Aeneas is very interested in any presumptions of peacefully coexisting with the Italian natives who are already there, and that's also feeling like another thing I was mentioning earlier about how it is hard to get your mind into the mindset of feeling some kind of sympathy for these characters. Shit! I wanted to wake him up and shake him down. Okay, so let me move this way and kick. But yeah, I'm at book 7, and I'm going to have to read a synopsis when I pick it back up. I have done nothing but work on this video and occasionally take 1 and 1/2 hour long breaks. Okay. Thank God. But he's facing the wall. I can't get him to shake from. Okay, so the holdup is like a Boolean. Are they currently in holdup mode? It's a yes or no question that is determined by whether or not you've... Are they in holdup mode while they're in CQC mode is a yes or no question that's determined by whether or not they've been held up already before. So that's one of the reasons why I was having so much trouble relearning how to play this game just now. Is I was CQCing guys and then letting go of them and having some trouble getting them in a hold-up state. If I hold them up ahead of time, then CQC them, they will return to hold-up state after the CQC animations are done. Now, there's a guy with the radio I need to hold up. And it's not this guy on the stairs. It's the guy at the tippy top of the stage. I almost feel like I have memories holding this guy up before. Bum, 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 bum. Actually, I know what to do. Oh my God, the warehouse is so easy. I can't believe I thought this area was hard. Look at this. You just lure guards around corners with wall taps. This whole time I've been trying to ghost by guards without them seeing me or use animals on them. I mean, it looks like a combination of CQC plus wall taps is probably the simpler and more reliable strategy. When I get this guy down, I'll check up on chat what I missed. Whew. So yeah, Aeneas is sailing around with refugees searching for a new homeland, but he insists that the homeland's got to be Italy because he has some vision from the gods telling him as much, and he doesn't question them. He doesn't question why he's even doing this. He doesn't seem to feel sympathy for the victims he's leaving in his path. He makes girlfriends with Queen Dido, and then just fucks off and leaves her when he's reminded that the gods said, hey, wait a minute, you're actually supposed to settle Italy, not Carthage. And they also come up with the cute justification for the horrifying genocidal wars that Virgil was living in the wake of in his own time.
Don't shoot.
I guess one thing that is interesting about the Greco-Roman mentality when it does come to horrible genocidal wars against culturally foreign enemies is that they do try to at least juxtapose the conflict with some degree of respectful sportsmanship. The Carthaginians are depicted surprisingly positive. I don't know if I was expecting that, but I guess I should have, because the Trojans are depicted surprisingly positive. The Trojans are depicted more positively than the Greeks are in Homer. The Carthaginians are a perfectly fair and noble people who have like a surprisingly equitable society that's also a matriarchy. They're ruled by a queen, and everyone's just kind of cool with this. No one really questions it. It's a queen who also has a valid reason to like get away from the unnecessary wars that her brothers are starting. They don't have a mean word to say whatsoever about their mortal, awful enemy that they utterly destroyed in real life. That's cute. It reminds me of Homer, but I don't think the writing is there as the writing quality of Homer. One thing that I think is an interesting way I've tried to understand it is that it reads like Virgil himself never had to like take care of a flock of sheep that were getting harassed by a lion and shoo away a lion. And in the Iliad and the Odyssey both, there are plenty of lion metaphors. The Iliad especially, I think, if memories are coming back to me as I'm talking, where Homer will just stop what he's doing to compare whatever is happening to a lion harassing a shepherd and the flock of sheep. There's all sorts of quirky agrarian metaphors. A bucket of honey in summertime will attract flies swarming by the thousands if you leave it out too long. And soldiers marching across the beach in formations will look like this swarm of disgusting flies swarming all over your honey that you're trying to keep clean. It feels like Virgil hasn't had to do that kind of work. Homer is supposed to be a blind man, but it reads like he's supposed to be a bard who's a blind man and makes his living entertaining people, but it reads like an old man who is a bard in his later life, who spent his younger life doing some hard manual labor that gave the writing some perspective. I gotta hold this guy up. I can't screw around with this guy. The Homeric metaphors are not hitting as often, and when they do hit, they don't seem to hit as hard. And one reason might be because Virgil's word count seems lower in general. There's not a lot of page space for him to flesh out these metaphors. It's about half the length of a Homer. Did he see his friend get knocked out? You said, what's wrong? That's usually what that means. Yeah, here we go. No! Start. Maybe I should actually go up top and... Yeah. Is there any possible way I could get up there without hurting him? Yes, there is. Magazine. Doopy doopy doop doop. Doopy doop. I'm gonna use a spider on this guy down here because I think I know where I can refill the spider later in the warehouse.
No, wait.
Hey. Oh, I'm trying to get away.
Who's that?
What? Maybe the spider's not going to work on this guy. Let me try it a couple. Might have to shoot him in the leg or something. Fully activating the alert. Stun lock him. By the spider. I'm going to try it from behind this time. Did not work from the front last time. Okay, I'm going to try to catch up on chat while doing this. Something I learned fairly recently about the epic cycles is that some of its most iconic moments are actually known to us in summaries. Yeah. The Trojan horse might be what you're talking about. Hell, wow, it worked perfectly from behind. I feel like I've read an account of the Trojan horse at least 3 different times here. In, the Odyssey, the Aeneid, and Herodotus, who I think believed it was nonsense. Cersei, too. Apparently Cersei's a really popular character, but, in the Odyssey, she's just a side quest. But Virgil and also the I'm using the Friedrich Ahl translation, and it has a very nice glossary in the back, an index for interactive reading. And this thing mentions that there are many, many, many myths involving Cersei. He turned a lot of Greek assholes into animals. Was not just Odysseus's crew. I'm lucky enough to have a job that gives me plenty of downtime to study Latin. Don't take that for granted. I have the same experience you have with the Enad, but when I randomly stopped playing a Yakuza game for a couple months. There's something funny about discussing assholes in literature while playing the warehouse. No! Oh my god. I thought that he'd be looking at a different part of the wall. Hello, Hideo Kojima official. When's Death Stranding 2 coming out on PC? Don't... The people want to know. Do 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 do. I'm going to choose not to believe that that is the actual official Hideo Kojima until later. I don't think he hangs out on English language Twitch. I think he does hang out on Japanese language Twitch, but I highly doubt he would use fame and suffer everyone's curiosity. Weird how those CQC throw hold up, they're so tricky to pull off. They're pretty easy to pull off in the original. Yeah, I think they're easier to pull off in legacy mode. It's got to do with the camera angle. It's if it takes an extra few frames, and I mean frames, a split second, fraction of a second, then you have to readjust your camera on their way down. In legacy mode and in OG, you can use the auto aim in third person to have Snake automatically point his gun at him as soon as you hold the button, as opposed to you holding the button and then moving the camera around a bit. Come on, come on. There we go.
Huh? Are those footsteps?
Footsteps. Oh my god.
Huh? What was that?
Dun 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 dun. There we go. Okay, this should be good. I think he's gonna have a nice fat booty facing for at least 4 seconds of time. Okay, new plan.
Huh? What was that?
Oh, I know. Of course, I completely... Why do I keep forgetting about these things? Ah! I just watched a video about how Solo used nostalgia for the oligarchy of the Roman Republic to reverse social reforms. Oh no, Hannibal, Montana. People say there's no monoculture anymore, but I think I know exactly the chain of social media posts that would have led you there. Was it about AI videos of how much better Walmart or something used to be in 2002? I can understand feeling nostalgic for 2002 if you're talking about, let's say, oh, I don't know, Metal Gear Solid 2, but not fucking Walmart. Who the hell is nostalgic for Walmart in 2002? There's some incredibly bizarre... You know, they don't believe they're fascists, but that doesn't mean they're not fascist. Modern fascism propaganda of an AI video of an AI child telling you how much better Walmart was in 2002. And I thought it was utterly absurd and ridiculous and scary and funny in equal measures. And underneath this post was, hey guys, go check out this YouTube video essay about how Solo used fake nostalgia to turn the Roman Republic into a socially Instead, to turn the Roman Republic into a politically unstable situation where charismatic dictators were able to seize power and turn it into a totalitarian empire for 1,000 years. I don't know if you follow the same chain to get there, but I know exactly what video... No, stop! Get behind the wall! Get behind the wall! I know exactly what video you're talking about, and maybe one of 2 or 3 different ways you could have landed on it. Do you have any tips to think more critically about games? Yes, I do. Read books. They don't even have to be about games, but you definitely should read books. Read books about criticism, and read books about media history, entertainment history. Freeze. Okay, so long as I have him freeze for just 1 second, one frame of the game registering that that's what his AI state is going to change to. Let's see if he does the annoying thing when I let go of him. Yeah! Okay, I got this. I feel like I already had it figured out a week ago, but now I got it figured out for now.
Don't shoot me, please.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so disarming myself? Wait, hold on. Roller42, you said I disarmed myself. Are you trying to tell me that me having a poisonous spider in my arms counts as disarming myself? Because I don't know. I just kind of put away one weapon and took out another weapon. Let me put on desert camo and make a magazine.
Freeze.
Ba 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 ba. Can't quite get the rate of fire right, but ammo. Thank you. No! Ointment. Okay, now... Nope, I see you trying to get away. You're gonna go... Freeze. There we go. I used to think the reason why I'm largely immune to childhood nostalgia was that I had a pretty mediocre upbringing, but then I see people of my generation in their 30s getting wistful over the most banal Bush-era shit and think, wow, you really have nothing going for you right now. One thing I saw was a TikTok recently talking about how games are good right now, actually, and that's an incredibly broad and subjective statement that I don't know if I agree with, but it talked about how people complaining about games being bad right now are really complaining about how they're not 15 anymore, and how when you're 15 you could play games for 17 hours straight and not have to worry about it and everything. Just, I wish you could hear how hard I was rolling my eyes at this TikTok that everyone was arguing about on the Dad and Son server. Because I did not have that kind of free time when I was 15. Like, 15 was one of my most stressful years in my life. I did not have that kind of free time to play video games in general until I was a grown-ass adult who had finished all my school, including college, and was making my own money and had free weekends. Before that point, I had chores, I had studying, I had sometimes friends and girlfriends. I never actually had 17 straight hours to play video games until maybe the mystique had already worn off. And one thing I realized from watching this video is that the video he used for when he was 15, the video game clip he used was Sleeping Dogs. So, like, if he was 15 when Sleeping Dogs came out, when I was 15, I was playing Metal Gear Solid 3. There's a certain game design orthodoxy that had not kicked in yet, for me, that had kicked in when he was 15, and he would have a different frame of reference where he would not have had a basis for comparison to to be using for such a hyperbolic and unrealistic statement. But, hey. This... When someone on the internet is saying they're having fun, that means they're right about whatever other argument they're making, right? Who am I to shit all over someone else's fun? Dun 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 dun.
Don't shoot!
Freeze. Freeze.
I want to hide him in the most visually obscure place possible without knocking him out. Without knocking him out on the way. What is this? Who? Why? Huh? Okay. Ah! I find it rather sad that people would feel nostalgic for the pettiest, most stereotypical things like hanging out at the mall in 2002. I think the kind of people who feel nostalgic for that are also the kind of people who actually... I mean, the kind of people who hung out at the mall in 2002, I'm sorry to admit, were not the coolest of people to begin with.
Freeze.
However much interesting shit you can get done at the mall is an extremely short amount. But I want to once again remind that this nostalgic quasi-fascist rage bait I was mentioning was not even nostalgic about hanging out at the mall in 2008. It was nostalgic about hanging out at Walmart in 2002, which is a pretty different image of patheticness. Dun 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 dun.
What was that?
I should not be visible here, right? In Legacy mode, I could really sandwich myself into this wall and confirm I'm not visible, but here I just kind of have to pray that the system won't let him see the little sliver of snake that I think should technically be visible. Sight. Woo, that felt close. Freeze. I will say I do miss smaller Walmarts before they decided to make all of them supersized. I hate having to walk a mile and a half to the back of the store to pick up cat food. I don't even know what that's like nowadays. I don't have a car. I can't go to Walmart even if I wanted to. If I want to buy cheap groceries, I go to a subway station, and then I get on a bus and ride the bus to an Aldi.
Freeze.
And I load my back up with Death Stranding stacks of groceries and get back on the bus and go take the bus to a subway station and then take the subway train to another subway station and then Death Stranding a huge stack of groceries on my back on my way home. It sucks. I really need to sue my the building's landowner.
Sick.
Oh, that was a waste of cage. I find it rather sad that people would feel right. I will say I do miss smaller Walmarts. Right. You disarmed yourself when you threw the spider. Right. 15 was when my school life was falling apart as burnout and the pressure of college crushed me. Gaming was the least of my problems. I enjoyed gaming when I was 15. I remember having some good gaming when I was 15. I was playing a lot of Source Engine Half-Life 2 stuff when I wasn't playing PS2 stuff. I think I was also getting into Silent Hill around those years. I was getting into emulation. I think I got into emulation actually a couple of years before, but yeah, my teenage years were spent on the PlayStation 2 and a rudimentary gaming PC that really was the family PC that I bought a Radeon 9200 graphics card to stick inside so I could play Doom 3, which turned out to be significantly more lamer than stuff that turned out to be more useful for that graphics card, which was emulating in 64 and PS1 games. And every now and then, even in 2005, 6, 7, 8, there were some early low-tech PS2 games that could be emulated. Oh, it emulated Dreamcast games pretty decently. Yeah, those years were when I discovered that if you have a gaming computer, you basically have a huge library of retro console games at your disposal. You can learn a lot of pop culture media history with real fast. 15-year-old me put up 100 years into Peace Walker. Oh god, I'm old. I did hold him up. I did hold him up. Okay, let me think this through. And go. And left check. Yeah. Okay, now let's shove him a bit. Can I reset the camera super quick? Like this. Okay, good, good, good. Half grenade. Oof, sorry. Doopy doopy doop. Shove you a bit, sorry.
Freeze.
Okay, I'm going to use a book to hold up the final boy.
Freeze.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. No! Oh, snake, get down on the ground! I was just talking about this. Book, 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 booky, booky, book, 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 book. Did he see his friend from all the... Oh, I should equip the TNT too for the food storage. I can't wall press. Okay, there we go. Now I can. I wanted to write an argumentative essay about how the video game market actually isn't about to crash, but we're only allowed to use academic/library sources, and there were next to none I could find. I don't know how you would academically prove that either. I guess many academic sources cite sales numbers and how diversified the industry is, how it really doesn't have its eggs in one basket. What might happen is that certain segments of it will crash. I feel like we might be going through a crash of traditional AAA game design. Hey, the book! He's not reacting to the book!
Freeze.
Yes! Okay, that was kind of risky, but I got him. I got him. Okay, now I need to not touch him. I can't shove him. I gotta go around the box stack to get to his front side. I'm gonna have to be fast. Let's go, 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 freeze!
Don't shoot me, please.
Ah! I'm gonna have so many supplies by the end of this game. Oh, and now I am allowed to shove him. So these guys with the film reels, this is interesting. I really like this extra challenge. It's like a hold-up challenge. I've always thought that Metal Gear Solid 3 should have some kind of VR missions. I don't know, Naked Snake's Boot Camp, where they make little versatile prototype Lego levels out of a plywood training camp kill house, I think is what they call it. This is the closest we're gonna get, isn't it? Extra ops. They're planning on adding extra ops to the 3DS version. It didn't go through with it. But the closest we get are some extra little collectibles to go after. And for these film reels, you have to hold guards up without touching them. I was about to say hurting them. You're not even allowed to give them a shove or a tap. You are not allowed to touch them. You have to manipulate their behaviors or sneak up on them in really clever ways. And they're guys who are kind of out of the way. It's cute. It makes a lot of sense. I like it. I dig it. Nope, we gotta do the hanging. Doop-be-doop-be-doop-doop. I don't know how I was able to squeeze games in between school, band, football, academic decathlon, and schoolwork. 15-year-old me could not have been that good at time management, could he? Huh. One thing I had to do is go to weekend visitation between the two divorced parents, and yeah, that meant that a 17-hour uninterrupted block of George time was effectively impossible for every weekend, even when I was a teen. LT and want to detonate. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum bum. How long did that take me? That took me 1 hour and 5 minutes. That's a long time. I don't have a lot of time to play this game tonight. I really don't know if I can make it very far at all. From point here. I want to keep that rotten food on me for Zafia, but probably. Which ones of these frogs are? You look colorful. Colorful frogs are poison, right? Poison! Ha! The flying squirrel, I think, could meet.
Not so great.
Maybe not, but we do have full stamina, and that's really all that matters at the. There's some noodles and a book, and I think life medicine, all very cleverly placed next to traps. Life medicine, noodles, and book. Weirdly, I feel like my life's gotten better the older I get. Yeah, just junkie, agreed. My 20s, and maybe the first chunk of the 30s were peak George. Definitely not the teenager. Absolutely, positively fucking not the childhood years. I really don't actually relate to the mainstream culture in terms of idolizing the childhood years. We don't need to get into that here. I'd say gaming from the usual companies is pretty bad, but the hobby as a whole is really good, if only because I found games that scratch the itch somewhere else. Yeah, I think that's kind of sort of the sticking point of the argument here, is that this TikTok I was responding to was using games from big companies that were following very established traditions. It would not have looked fundamentally different from games 10 years ago to make their point that games are good and fine and better than ever, and that's That can be argued, but not, absolutely not in the way. I need to stop complaining about it. I need to quit giving people hints on how to eat. Wait a second, I also need to go Ducky and Froggy. What's my next film canister too? I gotta make sure not to forget. Okay, we got Ducky and Froggy. Good, good, good. I'm 22 and even I can tell games used to be better before I was born / when I was an infant. Sorry, Airgeist. The good news is that you are truly spoiled for choice. The dynamic kind of sort of was you had less choice, but that meant that the good quality stuck out harder and also became more influential over the decades. I do kind of envy someone who can go through the classics for the first time these days, because you'll also be going through way better versions than what we got. If you're playing through Metal Gear Solid 3 for the first time, you got this version. You got emulators, you got mods, you got very powerful gaming PCs that are very cheap. PC gaming is not what it was like when I was in childhood. It's so much better right now. But ultimately, it's like the design that's kind of limited, and it's because the controllers stayed the same for about 30 years. Damn, I was trying to get out of there. Now, did I get Ducky and Froggy here? Froggy. That's Ducky. Let me use the quick menu. Getting that. Oh. Oh. Bubble. Go. I'd say gaming from the usual companies is pretty bad, but the hobby as a whole. Yeah, I mean, Airgeist gets to play through all the classics for the first time in relatively rapid succession, and they're going to be the best versions of the classics. They're going to be cheaper and more accessible than ever. But once you're done with the classics, you're going to notice that around about games from maybe 2013, 14 onwards, really are going to start to look the same unless you're playing something weird, two-dimensional, and indie. And at that point, it starts to become hard to define what really is a classic, because the things that truly feel new are for increasingly smaller and smaller audience. Aha! Now, is this the desert one? Electron battery one. Desert one will prevent my silence. Oops. Oops! Oh no! Uh-huh. Uh-uh. I decided to write about American imperialism instead. That seems easier. Always had trash games, although now it's much about. I don't know. Grew soldier patrolling exterior outside wall. Is that him? I don't see a canister. I'll just try a regular. Regular. So slow. Look how slow I am. Okay, yeah. This is fine. He's not the guy I was looking. Maybe I should leave him in the bushes with the snake. This guy might be the one I'm looking for. Oh. Got a radio. I don't see a canister. But sometimes the canister's on their backside and you gotta get a bit closer look to really... Really, the only childhood nostalgia I wish I could return to is playing MGS3 for the first time. Oh, it was the bird. It was the bird that gave... The field of view mod is very nice, and it solves one of my biggest pet peeves about the new style, and that is that when you're tracking two enemies on your flank, you would end up pulling the camera left and right very slowly, very deliberately. It would take about a good one solid full second. I hit a little patch of grass that the camo didn't blend in. So I'm not gonna go. Yes, I am. I am gonna go for the supplies. I don't need to get the frog a second. Out for. Okay. You can find so much slop on the peripheries of the NES or even the PS2 if you browse around. Yes. But, I mean, nowadays, sometimes, like, slop makes it to the top of the pile and then stays there for a suspicious... Also, there's more of a market for, like, enjoying slop ironically. Like, some of the loudest, most complaining people are, sometimes the ones who really do get their kicks out of playing bad games. They think is so good that it's just to laugh at, and they come away with more negative opinion. I will never understand how Overwatch... God, I can kind of understand Fortnite. At least that one like feels fun in your hands. It's supposed to be an argumentative essay, but I'm having a hard time imagining the guy who would argue it isn't true. A guy that would argue it's good or something is more believable. I don't know what we're talking about, just Junkie there. I might have missed that message. Is striking while the iron is cold on that one, so to speak. The only bad thing about playing through the classics as a 22-year-old in 2025 is that most people my age haven't done that and I can't talk to them about it. Oh well. I don't think needing to talk to people is... Yeah, I mean, it's nice, but I don't think it's a requirement. But then again, I shouldn't really experience because I'm this, like, D-tier internet celebrity who's always going to have someone to talk about for something if I want. It might not be good talk, but it will be available to me in a way it's not for most people. Put a bit more... Let's give the dog a treat. I don't think the dog eats rotten food.
Huh? What was that noise? Huh? Huh?
That's a lot of Hans. Uh-oh, camo's low as soon as he turns around. Maximize.
Nothing here.
Better. Lucky. I didn't have to hit him with the spider. Oh no! Is the film canister guard going to be the one who answers the door when you knock on it? I don't see a canister on this guy's equipment. Howdy Roads Live. I'm hunting froggies and duckies in film canisters. The first thing I did when detoxing from cynicism, distancing from all the people who only highlight bad games. But then again, like, I feel like there's also a kind of toxic positivity to a certain extent where people will get so impassioned about fighting cynicism that they will insist that everything's actually good and fine. That's not really the case either. Very difficult to keep your head screwed on straight these days. Fear and Hunger took, what, 3 years to become a popular cult indie game, and it was available the whole time. Need to knock on the door. Guard. I might. That's going to be very interesting. That means I'll have to get him, I'll really have to lure him away from... Oops. Right into some sight line. 5. So, but while I was rounding the corner... What was that? I don't know. I was holding LB. I think, bird or something might have flown away. Doesn't look like Canister Man. I'm trying to move out of the way. Should I be spider camming it? I feel like first person mode saved me because he would have seen my legs if I didn't turn into a disembodied camera. Uh-oh, snake, gotta avoid the snake. No, stop, quit, get away. I might need to knock out the fence too. This fence has screwed me up sometimes when doing what I'm going to be trying to do here. Freeze. Freeze, I said. Okay, a film canister didn't fly out of him, so I bet it's the guy, the knock on the door guy. This is interesting. I dig it. I like this. This is... I tend to have a usual method that is funny and cool, but not this time I won't. And just in case he wakes up... You know what? Let's not take risks. So usually what I do is I knock on the door, and as soon as he opens it, I throw a snake in his face, and it's very funny and cute. But I gotta shake things up for this challenge. And I'm gonna have to lure him toward an angle where I can sneak up behind him and then move to his front. Without touching and shoving him and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a magazine to my left, his right. Maybe I should throw it to his left, my right, so that he'll be attracted to this guy, his buddy, who will be on the ground and further luring him away from his path. But then again, I don't want to risk both of them waking up. Yeah, this is interesting. There are pros and cons for all these decisions I could be making. Oh, I know.
Okay, just a second.
Come on. You gonna come out? There, yeah.
What's this?
I don't see a real one. Yeah, I see it on his hip. Left hip. Freeze.
No, wait.
Life medicine full? What a wonderful thing to see. Also, I guess I just discovered a new source of life medicine. You can hold up guards and shake them down for life medicine. Dun 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 dun! Wah! That was clean. That was good. That was smooth and satisfying. So this area might be the last one. We're about to hit an hour and a half. I definitely don't want to go over 2 hours. And I might want to watch at least a couple of the secret theaters that I've gone so far out of my way to unlock. Anubis, Banana, Gecko, this one. Yeah. Let's have a bit of fun. Okay, this is fun. We're having a bit of fun now. Stamina's looking decent. I feel like I don't even need to eat those glowing mushrooms for my batteries because I know which camos are not going to be draining batteries anymore. So I want microphone, directional microphone. Yeah. Do. Oh, the TNT will come in useful. All of these will come in useful. I think the 1911 is the least useful thing I currently have equipped. Ugh. Right. So, does the camo matter? Like, the Ducky, like, I see the duck on this camo. It's duck camo. Visually. But the description in the game says it enables you to hear Carotons calling, and Caroton is the Froggy. And as soon as you put it on, you'll hear the Froggy, but you won't hear the Ducky. And figuring out how to track down the Ducky, something I haven't quite mastered yet. Gaga. I think it was to the left. Alright, let me put on a real camo and keep the microphone pointed in that direction, and let's see what happens. There's some nice round lumps it could be hiding in on the muddy cliff wall that bordering the entire world over here. Alright, I know where to go and what to do. Dun 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 dun. Nope, don't look this way. There we go. Good job. Dun 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 dun.
There's nothing here.
I can hold this guy up with no one bothering us. Apparently not. Put over here, where I don't think we'll have line of sight interaction past these two trucks. Yeah. See, he's... Ah! I fucked it up. No! Pocket spider! He's still coming.
I see him.
Yeah.
Freeze.
Grew soldier patrolling outside walls. Did anyone see a guy with a canister? Because I don't think I remember any canisters blowing up when I was doing that combat just then. Ah!
Radio, where's our backup?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of myself of getting out of that sticky situation there.
Freeze.
Whoa! Why? Where did he come from?
I hear something.
Freeze. Freeze.
There's nothing here. Huh? What's wrong? What's wrong?
I'm looking for the Ducky more than anything else. Somewhere up on the wall here. I'll come back for the film canister later. Duck chaff. That was the door knock guy. No, no, in the tips, they say that there's a guard in a Grenany Gorky lab exterior outside. Oh, these are not the outside walls. This is, what is this? Exterior 1 floor. What? Like I'm inside. Exterior 1st floor. Exterior 1st floor, not interior. Okay, that's good to know. So it is just Ducky I have to worry about here. I didn't break any horrifying rules except tranquilizer overusage by getting into that fight back there, and I'm pretty proud of myself of how I got out of there with the pocket spider, a smoke grenade, and a dream. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Enemies. No way.
This will be a good way to spend the time while the timer's going down. And there's also the weapons supply house.
Freeze.
Yeah, this will be fine.
This is horrible.
It's so funny that normal food is Snake's least favorite item on the menu. was that? What was that?
HQ. This is HQ. Patrol here. Unable to locate the problem. Understood. Return to your position.
Yeah, Hannibal, Montana. The cock-up crusades are really fun. They've always been really fun in Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3 easily had the most fun alert phases to actually play out. I'm wondering if this has something to do with how it has the least amount of hiding spots to dash into when you get spotted. This the Ducky? Oh. Where's this guy? Oh, I just realized that if you wear the fly armor, the fly camo makes you stinky so that guards don't want to come in for close quarters combat. But I feel like that is not very useful, but I just realized that I could have used that during the fight, and that might have kept them from charging in with the knife while you have a guy in your arms. And you're like grabbing onto a guy and using him as a hostage. If you're stinky, they might not want to come in and save their guy.
Freeze.
Friends. Anyone who can see me do this? Yes, yes. Do, 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 do. Wait, this is... Let me just... This way.
No, wait.
Alright, you're going over here with the other guy.
Freeze.
Take really long for us both to go together, though. But take longer to knock him out and put him back. Incorrect. I don't need to... Okay, fine, I will, because I was already on the way. I don't need to carry him all the way over there with the last guy I held up on the ground. I want to, because I want to play it safe. There's still one guy patrolling who could screw this up. I want to get the Ducky and blow up the weapons depot, and then go inside and continue on the game like a normal person. Guy is held up, scared for his life, and the weirdo holding him up is running circles. I know, it's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. I love this game so much. Oh my god. It's that juxtaposition between the seriousness and the slapstick. I was watching Charlie Chaplin's Gold Rush movie the other day for visual reference study purposes for a video that I shouldn't talk too much about. I'm working on that is definitely going to be a side-by-side comparison that needs to be seen by more gamers. Yeah, if you really want to see the genesis of where Metal Gear begins, watch Charlie Chaplin's silent movies.
Freeze.
Yes. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum ba. No, Ducky. Ducky, where is Ducky? Oh, maybe it's in the trees. Yeah, if I was a game designer hiding little duckies around the levels, maybe I'd put them in the trees. Maybe the night vision would help. Hmm, 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 hmm. I'm betting trees. Concrete seems too obvious. But I'm not getting any quacks. Maybe the more guards you incapacitate. Oh, I was looking in the wrong spot. I really gotta figure out duck logic. Gotta learn how to duck. Maybe in order to find the duck, I have to think like the duck. Sometimes the duck is clever. Sometimes the ducky's easy. Sometimes the duck is the real pain in the ass. Perfectly blending in. I also love how hilariously appropriate this fits the theme of the game. You're playing with the camouflage system. You have to like immerse yourself in the environment and really soak up the whole frame from left to right, top to bottom. Try and spot some kind of shapes out of the ordinary. Is this what it looks like from the other side of the game? Like, when guards are in alert mode, I guess evasion or caution mode, and they're searching around the woods for Snake, are they like having to squint really hard at all the bushes and look for any shapes out of place? Does my stamina affect how often the duck quacks? It's like I heard it earlier, and then I got in a fight and knocked out a bunch of guards and didn't hear it very much. And then I knocked the guards out and got kind of stumped and stuck. And then I heard it again, and now that I'm getting closer to where I heard it from, I'm not hearing him at all. He's on the ground? Go in circles for a little while. And I could also stand eat. Don't need any of this stuff anymore. The microphone, quietest gun I got on me. I don't think the thermal goggles help you at all. Gosh, if they do this for Metal Gear Solid 2, it's gonna be real tough if they hide it behind objects you have to peek, lean around. What the hell? What the hell? That's not where it was quacking at me from earlier. Is it moving? Maybe it activates after I move it a bit? Really should just... My name's George and I like to play Metal Gear Solid like a weirdo instead. Triangulation. Conglaturation, you have beated a great game. Where's the duck? Tell me about Ducky. I'm trying to find Ducky. Boom, 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 boom. Where's the duck? This is the last guy, so I don't gotta worry about putting hidden.
Please don't.
Give me a snack. Give me a snack and tell me where you hid Ducky.
Freeze.
Let's go to Walmart and look at the fish in the tanks. Make it go bye-bye. Where's my binky? I need to stop. I'm just cracking myself up. I'm not doing it, actually. What was... Wait, if I hit the aim button... Wow, I can really take him on a long-distance adventure like this, can't I? Yeah, if you press the aim button, it cancels Snake's own stumble animation. That's cool. Complete global triangulation.
Freeze.
Now where's the Ducky? Been looking for Ducky for like an hour. now might be about time to finally eat one of those calorie mates or noodles. Ducky in the truck.
That's good.
The world must be made whole again. The philosophers must be reunited. Lobsters must be brought back to Walmart. Ducky in the trucks. Alright, I'll go back to the spot earlier where I heard it quacking. So when I was around about over here, and does that say 9:30? Okay, we're not wasting too much time just yet. When I was over here, pointing the mic this direction. I'm about to hit 2 hours though if I don't find the ducky within the next 5 minutes. I hate thinking about time deadlines while playing games. It really absolutely puts a downer on. We got our M16, right? Yeah. We can really make it look like a Vietnam movie if we want. SVD, AK-47, M37, AK, and the SVD are mag loaders, right? I see a magazine there. This doesn't make me a magazine, I want it back. I think count. 6. That's 6 of these. I love how no one in the building is gonna care about all this gunfire. Also, this is counting towards my 5 minutes. Uh-oh, I should stop. And 8, nice. Same with the AK. The philosophers must be reunited, the world must be made whole again. Oh god, what's another thing they said in that video that never actually really existed? I mean, like, yeah, the free samples. They used to give you cookies and milk at Walmart. No, they fucking didn't. Shut up. The world must be made whole again. The philosophers must be reunited. They must give you milk and cookies when you go to Walmart. So there's like two things going on. I don't think if Walmart ever gave out free samples, I have so few memories of it. It's so unremarkable and uncommon and utterly non-memorable of a non-event that it wasn't anything special worth starting Civil War II over. And if they did, that's because your mom brought you on like some specific day where you just got lucky. Like, you couldn't plan that shit out. They did not really... I don't know if they announced it ahead of time, but if they did, that meant that your parent was reading the Walmart news, and And if they didn't, that means you just got lucky and went there on a day where they were happening to give out free samples. And as far as the free samples go, I also don't remember them being exclusively cookies at all either. There's so much about that statement that's complete bullshit. Or so much about that video that's complete bullshit. Have you ever replayed any game more than MGS3? Hunt Showdown, I guess? But I don't know if you want to count a multiplayer competitive thing. But I'm pretty sure of all the games I played in my life, MGS3 and Hunt Showdown are the top 2 most hours sunk into. As far as replays go, yeah, if we're using that word, yeah, no, I will confidently say the answer. No, Metal Gear Solid 3 is top spot. I haven't played replaying any other game again like this one. Unless we're talking about playing matches of Hunt Showdown over and over again. How come it's not quacking anymore? Does someone know what I'm doing wrong? I feel like I heard it quacking from the corner of the concrete wall here. I feel like I heard it quacking from the woods out here where I've got a couple guys held up forever. I don't understand what I'm doing so wrong. Oh, boo! Boo! I swear that I was not crazy when I said earlier the lights in this game can be shot out. I guess it's a specific to certain environments or certain kinds of lights. Because you totally can shoot the warehouse lights out. Maybe it's an interior versus exterior thing. Check the windows. Make 50 tweets complaining about the windows of the main building. Up there. Okay, let me stop and freeze. We got a Gaga. Alpha Charlie Bravo, we have ammo confirmation on the enemy Gaga. Over. Alright, we're slowly approaching the Gaga. Gaga, we got another Gaga. That's 3 Gagas in the past 14 seconds. Let me register. Over. Come on. Yeah, Gaga. And now it's done. Now it's done. Maybe I should go to the bathroom. Maybe it'll start quacking again when I come out from the bathroom. Is it on the top of the What? What? Okay, now that I actually know where it is, I need to be experimenting. You fucking spoiled it, Bobo Bunga? Did you know it was there? One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. It quacks every 10 seconds. All right, now what's the radius? Like if I'm looking at the ground, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I'm looking at the ground. Okay, you don't have to be very close to it. See if I'm looking at the truck. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Yeah, I have played some Hunt Showdown streams every now and then where you in the audience can see a bad guy camouflaged into the environment that the player playing will be missing, and it's the funniest shit. And it's so cute to see that happening here. Alright, now let's see if camo has any effect. 1 Mississippi, 2. I'm so tired. Gaga yourself. I think it's the same time intervals. Dun 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 dun. 1 Mississippi. Still 10 seconds. I don't know if the camo really has much of an impact. Did I already blow up the weapons? Look like it. Did I forget to put the TNT in there? I guess I did. Dun, 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 dun. Right, now we're going to put the science uniform on and save the game and continue on next stream. Science. Scientist. Here we go. Also, maybe I should go ahead and get a good loadout for interior area. Doopy doopy doop doop. Should be good. All right. Bam. Oh, I wonder if I need film canisters in here. Like we got Froggy, we didn't get Ducky. Joy. Exterior, Sylvester Gornage. Okay, that's gonna be a while. I'm gonna go to the bathroom while we listen to Paramedic tell us about movies, and then we're gonna watch one of the secret theaters, and then I'm gonna get back to work on the video.
Snake, have you heard that it came from outer space?
Yeah, you told me already.
So this astronomer sees a meteor, but it's really an alien spaceship, right? And the aliens start replacing the townspeople with clones and forcing them to help repair the ship. The 3D effects were quite realistic.
I've got all the real I can handle here in the jungle.
No, you don't get it. Precisely because it's realistic, with the images jumping out of the screen at you, it makes for a nice escape from reality. I have to admit it made my eyes tired, but it was really intense. Unfortunately, they don't make very many of those movies anymore.
When did it come out?
I was still in college, so probably about 10 years ago.
Guess I'm out of luck then.
You know, they're coming out with household versions of video cassette recorders. One day you'll be able to see old movies anytime you want. It'll be like having a
Thanks,
movie
Ruler
theater in
42.
your own home.
Really?
Oh wait, she's
It's
about
like
to
if
say
you had
it.
a record with a movie film etched onto it instead of music. It'll work the same way.
You're kidding.
No, really. And someday they might make movies where you control the characters yourself.
Oh.
Sounds like magic.
It'll happen. Make sure you stay alive to see it, Snake.
Movies where you control the characters, as opposed to theme parks or stage plays where you are the character. Theme parks where you are a character, yeah, I guess that's the modern metaphor. Instead of movies where you control the characters, it's like going to an escape room or a theme park. Huh.
After the end of World War II,
Some type of video
was
where you
split into
play a
two,
game.
East and West.
Snake
This
lived
marked the
long
beginning
enough
of
to
the
play
era
the
called Cold
4F.
War.
Why is this one all grainy and scratchy and using PS2 assets?
What have you done? You changed the future.
That was pretty
You
good.
created a time paradox.
Oh, kind of wish they ended it with him just the time paradox thing might have been a bit too much. The comedy was quite understated up until that point.
Got you this time.
These are cute. These are real cute. I'm kind of enjoying these a lot more than the earlier one. What are... Everything's wrong. That guy was always the funniest one anyway. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't stop here. These are good. These are actually good. Kojima invented YouTube poop. Look, that's how you're supposed to play the game. From the top-down angles. These are old. These are from 20 years ago. You can tell by the film grade. This is appropriate because that's actually the hugest asshole in the story, right? Oh, yeah. Sokolov saves Sokolov from Sokolov, and then Sokolov falls in love with Sokolov wearing a wig. Oh, I wish he had the sexy boss model from the neck down. They should have just used the boss's model, but with the director's head. Where did they come from? What a good game. Yeah! You're stupid. Ryzen was such a punching bag for this stuff, and he turned out to be one of the fans' favorite characters. What a game. What a good game. I have not had a single bad night with this game. It's such a good game. That's just mean. Yeah. They're in the drop pod. Alright, I'm gonna go keep on keeping on. We did it for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Way less than the usual 4 hours, but still a bit longer than the 2-hour limit I was trying to set for myself. But hopefully there'll be a Death Stranding video of mine out tomorrow.